Yes, before we get to that, let's get to the phony scandal on Bill O'Reilly.
Oh,
the Bill O'Reilly thing. Let's play first. Let's start with what they have said just last night, I believe, on MSNBC about Bill O'Reilly. Listen to what they are saying about Bill O'Reilly.
What we're asking for is equal attention paid to crises at a time of enormous distress for our vulnerable children to be assisted. So, Mr. O'Reilly, I'd love to have that conversation about protecting yourself behind white picket fences and Fox News and having digital courage. Come in the streets where you went to Sylvia and you were surprised that black people don't throw bananas at each other or swing from trees.
Is that is that unbelievable?
Yeah.
That's unconscionable. That's Michael Eric Dyson from MSNBC. Who, because Bill O'Reilly...
Don't say what he said. Don't say what he said yet.
All right.
He's saying that Bill O'Reilly he'd be shocked to see that African Americans are not swinging from trees and eating bananas. Now, what could possibly make you say that? What did Bill O'Reilly say?
It must have been
horrific.
Inflammatory racism.
Right. Listen.
The reason there is so much violence and chaos in the black precincts is the disintegration of the African American family. Raised without much structure, young black men often reject education and gravitate towards the street culture, drugs, hustling, gangs.
Okay, stop. Stop. The same thing could be said for the white, quote, culture. Same thing could be said. As the family disintegrates, so does society.
There's no question about that.
None.
It's just that the numbers are higher in the black community, about 70%.
Yes.
And, when you have those kinds of numbers who are fatherless, bad things are going to happen.
Yes.
You need, there's a mother and a father for a reason. It just works better that way. It just works out well. You get the whole
But you also have, if you have a group of men, and I fear that the white community, I fear all of our communities are starting to do this, to where you minimize the effect that men have on families and society. And men aren't necessary. Men aren't necessary. Mm-hmm. It's women, women, women. Men aren't necessary. Mm-hmm. When you start to do that, you start to have trouble on the street because, guys, I don't know if you've raised kids, but women and men and boys and girls are different. And you just start to say, Pat, when you come home with your sons, were there times that you could speak to your son that your wife could not?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Are there times that your wife could speak to your daughters when you couldn't?
Definitely.
I know it's true in my household, and I don't think I think we're freaks for a myriad of reasons, but that ain't it. Mm-hmm. And when the father is not there, and when all of the fathers look like they're just having a great time, and they just go father as many kids as they want, anytime, and there's no responsibility, what do you think the boys are going to learn? Especially when boys have a hard time as it is keeping it in their pants. And so what happens to society? Boys will look for something to join. Boys will look for somebody who has some power. Boys will look for somebody who's settling some scores. And it's not a race thing. It just happens to be that African Americans are farther down the road. It was intentionally done during slavery.
But when O'Reilly points that out, and it's a simple fact, just look at the stats. Look at the statistic. You can't even cite statistics anymore without saying that you believe that blacks are throwing bananas at each other and swinging from trees. It's unbelievable.
Bill O'Reilly,
unreal.
Bill O'Reilly luckily has enough clout and enough power that he can stand on his own. But no man is an island, and they are. I mean, he's wishing for the days where he could go, but look at Beck. He's no longer apparently the old fatherly figure that they all loved when I was there.